Miami, Florida is the destination for UFC 287. It's going on just feet from us inside the Caesar Arena. It is Israel Adesanya looking to get his belt back against Alex Pereira. And this is Extra Rounds on UFC Fight Pass. Hey, everybody, I'm TJ Santis. Thanks so much for joining us along with Hannah Goldy. We are hanging out in the plaza here right outside the Caesar Center, which is, again, site of UFC 287. And I don't know if you've noticed, Hannah, I'm feeling a little bit Miami. You know, I got the hat on. Yeah, like, you know.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you brought it back.
I mean, I have to. You know, the people demanded it. This is the new look that everyone tries to go for in Miami, you know?
I heard Jorge wants to fight you, though, for the title.
Okay, we're gonna...
Just take it off. Just,
take it off.
Leave it over there.
It's your fault. Your fault. All right, Jorge, if you're mad, talk to her. But he's got some other things on his plate. He's got Gilbert Burns a little bit later on tonight. But let's talk about our main event. It's going to be a phenomenal match. We see Alex Pereira looking for a bit of redemption as he, you know, doesn't necessarily get the respect that maybe he deserves after taking out Israel Adesanya last November. Finds himself as the underdog tonight, but he is the man who is up 3-0 in the series overall. You know, I can't stop thinking about this, Hannah. You were talking about it over and over again, how the wrestling game just might be the X factor here for the Brazilian. In a close, you know, knit fight, it's the small sort of adjustments that can really make the difference, and you're leaning maybe towards the wrestling game of the champ.
Yeah, you know, and again, like when you say redemption for Alex, I'm just like, man, it's just crazy that like we're going for redemption for him when he is literally the champ.
Right.
He is the champ and he's the underdog, and we're saying like he needs to prove himself, but yet he has proven himself again and again, right? So, yes, I will say that I do think that the grappling and the wrestling game of Alex might show through tonight. I do think that we might see some of that. I know that there's been some talk about Israel, you know, maybe taking Alex down, but if I had to put my money on it, I would say that the takedown is going to come on Alex's side.
Well, there's also the thing called like wrestling in reverse, where maybe you're not necessarily the aggressor, but if you're able to use the wrestling to stay on your feet, maybe that's where the wrestling game comes into play with Alex as well.
Yeah, true. Like I said, my coach, Julian Williams, he said that when he grabbed a single leg on Alex, he has never felt strength like that in his life. He said that that single leg defense, like just like the raw strength in that position, he has never felt anything like that. So I will be interested to see how it goes for Israel trying to take Alex down.
And how amazing is that when something that isn't even really on the radar as one of his strengths blows a coach out of the water with those skills and the ability. Like, if he's able to actually deliver a high, you know, offensive or high-level wrestling game against Adesanya, like, is Adesanya thinking about that? And if that's the case, does Adesanya maybe, like you say, try to take him down and then possibly find out that that's a real bad idea? Because I don't think Izzy plans on spending any time on his back in this fight if he can help it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, it's MMA, right?
Right.
And like, generally from these two, we have seen mainly striking. So I think it would be super interesting to see some grappling exchanges in this fight for sure.
We'll see what happens. You know, we've seen Israel Adesanya have some success in his previous meetings with the Brazilian champion. And, you know, one of the sort of critiques for Izzy was in his last meeting when he had Pereira hurt, he did not really sort of, you know, put the pedal to the metal, if you will, and try to get him out of there and get the finish. He ultimately wilted later in the fight in the 5th round. How aggressive do you think Izzy will be in this meeting?
You know, I think that there obviously has to be some, like, mental stuff going into that, right? Like you said, maybe he didn't push the pedal to the metal enough, but also it's a 5-round fight, right? So we can't try to gas out in, you know, the 1st or 2nd round. This is 5 rounds. This is a 25-minute fight. That's different than 15 minutes.
Right.
So, you know, and trying to take out somebody like Alex Pereira, like that's tough. So we're going to see. We're going to see. That's why I'm excited to see if we get some grappling exchanges, maybe some more MMA, you know, MMA, not just striking. I would like to see them mix it up a little bit.
Right, the full, well-rounded arsenal of both fighters. Probably going to be needed tonight here to walk out the UFC middleweight king. You know, we're talking a little bit about the fatigue and the crunch put on a fighter. Sometimes that is a mental game as well. And we've seen both of these athletes. They respect one another. Don't get me wrong. They definitely do. But
I mean, they've met each other. You know, this is gonna be, they have to. They have to, for sure.
But when I look at Adesanya, the way that he's sort of thrown some attacks towards Pereira this week, week in regards to, you know, how he rehydrates after weigh-ins. It's interesting to see, is he kind of go that route? Because he's not making outright accusations, but he is saying that, look, it's interesting how much weight you gain after a fight. What's going on here? What are your thoughts on him bringing that up?
I mean, in my opinion, you know, everybody's body composition is different, right? You know, like when I fight at 15, like I could weigh in at 116 on weigh-in day, and then I could be 134, you know, the next day. And like as a 115er, obviously, like the body weight percentage is different, but
it's even more though for you guys. You know, I mean, when you're thinking about 115, like 1 pound is almost like 0.7% of your body weight.
Exactly. So everybody's body holds weight differently. Everybody has, you know, different amounts of muscle mass, and you know, muscle holds water, so it's different. It just depends. So I don't think that you can kind of like say, you know, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's doing that, or whatever. I think it's just, you know, everybody's body's different, and we all kind of like blow up differently the next day. Like I said earlier, they both made the weight.
Right.
So
yeah.
You know, that's it. He made weight, and he did it legally. So
you know what I appreciate about you? I just threw out a ratio of like, that's 0.7% of their body weight.
Like, yes, I totally agree.
You didn't ask me to prove my math, which is great because I have no idea what the ratio is. But
I trust in you completely.
Man, we're gonna be best friends if you never test my math skills.
We're the two best friends that anyone could have.
Huh? We're bringing on a guest? Uh-oh.
Stop it.
Uh-oh.
Stop it.
I mean, we don't even have a microphone wired.
Oh my gosh, yay.
You're gonna have to like, all right. It's a family reunion. Our friends are welcome everywhere here. Let's see what's happening here.
Oh
Press this button.
Goodness.
Go like this.
How's it going? Where's the seat at? Let's pull up.
Yeah, I don't have another seat.
Oh no, he's taking your title? Just like that?
Yeah, you look like you could beat my ass. You can have that.
Stop
He's
it.
Mr. 305.
Should I let him do that?
You should not let him beat my ass. No, but he can have the hat if it means he won't beat my ass.
Really whooping ass. Now I'm in Miami whooping ass.
There you go. See?
Mr. 305.
Yeah. You want to introduce us to your friend?
This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
CFFC welterweight champion. I just won my title last weekend in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Went out there with the first round submission, fought a tough guy, 6-0. Now I'm just looking for UFC aspirations. That's why I came on this show.
Yeah? Well, perfect. I mean, a great place to get noticed by the UFC is in the shadow of the UFC. You're already the CFFC champion.
We're here to feel that energy.
Yeah.
What it's going to feel like when I walk out there.
I have no idea if anyone can hear you right now, but I'm just going to assume they can. And if you can't, he's Charlie. He's the CFFC champion. And he was going to beat my ass if I didn't give him my 305 hat.
I would never let him.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
That would never.
All right. You wouldn't beat my ass. We're
like,
friends, right?
Just don't do it.
We're friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye, Charlie.
Later.
CFFC champ right there. Charlie.
Wow.
What's Charlie's last name?
Charlie
Champ.
Chuck Buffalo.
Okay, Chuck Buffalo joining us for the next round. What the hell is happening right now? I know we got a pretty good main event. We also have a pretty great co-main event. We'll see Jorge Masvidal take on Gilbert Burns in what might be Masvidal's last foray into the octagon. I guess we have to see how things play out tonight. But Miami's favorite son is back in action. Masvidal is one of the biggest stars in mixed martial arts, but that will not sort of help him when it comes to the odds in the line here against Gilbert Burns, El Dorino, a guy who's really turned up his career in a positive manner after moving up from the lightweight division. Finds himself 5-2 in the 170-pound class, and he finds himself as a very big favorite tonight against Jorge Masvidal. We've talked a lot about respect, and that's one thing where I think everyone watching tonight, even if you're not a Jorge Masvidal fan, you have to respect Jorge Masvidal, what he's done, you know, with his career in mixed martial arts as a whole. But that respect has not gotten in the way from people betting with Gilbert Burns. Stylistically, it's not a great matchup for Masvidal, but, you know, the money coming down on Gilbert Burns, do you think they'll be proven right? Does Gilbert walk out of Miami with a win over their native son?
You know, as we said, you know, the past couple days, I think that obviously the crowd is behind Jorge tonight, right? So I think that if the crowd can sway, you know, if we go to a decision, right, I think that the crowd may be able to sway the judges. So, you know, as a fighter, we never like to leave things to decision, especially when we're fighting in somebody else's hometown.
Right, yeah.
That's a rough thing to do. I do think Gilbert Burns has what it takes to technically in my opinion, finish this fight. But I love Jorge too, and I think that if he can drag Gilbert into that dogfight, like we were saying earlier, you know, if he can take him out of his game plan and drag him into what he wants to do and really impose his will, then, you know, I think it's going to be a tougher night for Gilbert.
Let's take a look at the odds courtesy of our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gilbert Burns, the -450 favorite. The comeback on Masvidal at +360. DraftKings Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the UFC. New customers can bet just $5 and win up to $150 in bonus bets if your fighter wins. Download the app and use code Fight Pass to get in on the action today. DraftKings Sportsbook, again, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince anybody to put money on Jorge Masvidal with this line of thought, but I do believe that the crowd is going to be very key and pivotal into tonight's potential win for Jorge Masvidal. When I look at him, I mean, again, this is Miami. This is his hometown. Everybody loves him here. They are going to be going nuts for him.
You did say you felt similarly, if I can say that word out loud, about his fight against Ben Askren, right? Like you said that stylistically, you didn't think that that was a great match for him?
It's not. It's not. Because, I mean, let me tell you what happens against Ben Askren. If Jorge Masvidal doesn't hit that flying knee and gets taken down, he probably doesn't stand back up until the end of that first round.
Tell me what would have happened.
He probably would have. Again, he would not have gotten back to his feet until the end of that 5 minutes, and then he would start over from there. And
that's true.
If he doesn't hit it,
if that man grabs you,
right. And you know the difference I think between a Ben Askren and a Gilbert Burns fight is Askren probably holds him on the floor for 5 minutes. For Gilbert Burns, if he gets him to the floor, he might hold him on the floor for 5 minutes, or it might be a lot less because he might catch him.
And I also feel like Gilbert Burns adds, you know, like the striking assault as well, right? Gilbert Burns is very well-rounded. Not to say that, you know, Ben Askren isn't a complete martial
Granted, this was early in Ben Askren's career, but I've seen Ben Askren stood up from the mount position where he was in top position. The referee stood him up for inactivity, and I agreed with it, okay? Yeah. Gilbert Burns is not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
But we'll see what happens. I like what you're saying, though, and that's trying to sort of bait Gilbert Burns into a dogfight. And if he's able to do that, and the fight can go the distance, either Masvidal catches him, or he convinces the judges, with the aid of the crowd cheering all his offense, that he's done enough to win a decision. So I'm going with Masvidal. I might be picking with my heart a little bit.
I'm going with Gilbert because I have to go against you, but also because I love Gilbert.
You don't have to go against me. You can agree with me if you want.
I can?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like our relationship wouldn't be the same.
It probably wouldn't, but I would love it if you disagreed with me anyway, because I love being right, even though I might not be right.
You might be wrong. What if you're wrong?
My wife tells me I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with your wife.
You've never even met my wife.
I still agree with her.
Well, you met me. I guess that's enough to know that she's probably right. So she's Hannah Goldy. I'm TJ DeSantis. This is Extra Rounds, courtesy of UFC Fight Pass. Appreciate you joining us here as we get closer and closer to the main card. We're about 32 minutes and some change away from the pay-per-view starting. And we've also got another fight on here that we haven't really talked too much about in our latest show segment here. A bantamweight banger, as we will see Rob Font, the veteran, take on Adrian Yanez. Yanez might be my favorite fighter to come into the UFC in the last 2 or 3 years. He's a young man who has had 5 appearances inside the octagon. He's walked out with 5 performance of the night bonuses. And, you know, I can't say that it's a foregone conclusion, Hannah, that he's going to win a bonus each and every time out, but he's got to be on the short list for sure, and tonight's no different.
And, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I saw him in the hotel, and he just looks ready to go, man. He seems mentally locked in, and I'm excited to see him tonight. I'm excited to watch him put on a show tonight.
I mean, Israel Adesanya is excited to see him tonight. He was talking about him in the press conference, saying, like, that's a guy to keep your eye on, and when a former champion like Adesanya, who's in the main event, is telling people to, hey, look out for this kid, you got to feel pretty damn good about yourself.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Adrian put on a show tonight for sure.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens.
It's a very tough opponent in Rob Font, you know, and I think that this is really going to test Adrian. I think that this is going to be, you know, that fight to really show what he's bringing to the table.
Yeah, and Rob Font, a guy who's been around for a while, he's right outside the top 10, or top 5 rather, about number 6 in the bantamweight ranks. He's got a tough task holding down a young kid in Adrian Yanez, but that's what I love about combat sports. Like, you know, you can talk about life where maybe we don't always get exactly what we deserve. Some people have to put in more than others to get certain opportunities, but the bottom line is fighting is the ultimate meritocracy, especially in like the combat jiu-jitsu tournament that you were involved with a couple weeks ago. Like, you win to advance, and if you win and continue to win, no one can deny you anything. And for Rob Font, who's definitely you know, the underdog in this fight, and one that, you know, is the veteran taking on the hungry up and comer, all he's got to do is win. And if he wins, I mean, his stardom's going to go up.
Yep, and that's all he's got to think about tonight, right? Like, if Rob Font can stay mentally locked in and do what he needs to do tonight and impose his will, then he's going to take all that steam from Adrian Yanez, and, you know, what could be better for him?
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it. It's a bantamweight fight to keep your eyes on. Another fight to keep your eyes on, and honestly, just always keep your eyes on Kevin Holland. You never know when a fight might break out. This guy's been stirring the pot all week here in Miami. He's got his hands full with Santiago Ponzinibbio. Your thoughts on Kevin Holland, because even before we talk about the Ponzinibbio fight, what is this guy doing? He just seems to get under the skin of everybody.
I mean, I just feel like he just likes to ruffle some feathers, you know? Like, I feel like maybe he's just bored or something, right? He's just like always, he's just got to look for somebody to bother, you know, something to do.
Yeah, like,
but,
I mean,
I could, like, give him some chore. Like, I mean, man, I got dirty dishes and laundry at my house for days, Kevin Holland. You can come to my house and do my laundry all day, bro. Like, if you're bored, come through.
I know he likes to mix things up, but I don't know if he necessarily likes to put things on a spin cycle for your laundry. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of stirring the pot.
I mean, whatever it takes to get him clean.
Right. All right. Well, we'll see if dishes are in Kevin Holland's future. We know Santiago Ponzinibbio is, in fact, in his future. Your thoughts on that fight? I mean, Kevin Holland is entertaining. Win, lose, or draw, he's entertaining. He's got a very tough fight in Ponzinibbio. I like Holland in the fight. Ponzinibbio was in a tough fight in his last time out, but he ended up pulling it out. We'll see if he can do it. Your thoughts on Holland and Ponzinibbio?
You know, I think that they're both obviously very complete, very well-rounded mixed martial artists, and I do think that, you know, obviously Kevin Holland has a lot going on outside of the octagon, and we can maybe get distracted by some of his antics outside, but you can't take away from the fact that this man is a threat, and he is a serious danger to stand across from in the octagon, and, you know, my money is on him tonight.
So, what do you think about Kevin Holland, you know, and the fact that he is sort of stirring the pot? Is it good for an athlete to maybe have distractions leading up to a fight?
I don't know if it's necessarily a distraction for him.
It's true.
Though, you know?
It might just be business as usual, right?
You know, I think that it's just kind of like, I think that man just lives his life, and that, you know, it just is what it is. Like, that's just how he lives his life. Like, do you, bro? I mean, it seems to be that, you know, besides, you know, maybe the Kamzat fight.
Right, sure,
but,
sure.
You know, it's been going pretty well for him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, it sounds like what pissed off Masvidal was Kevin Holland said, "What's up, baby girl?" to Masvidal in the lobby, and that's where it all started. Like, who in their right minds can say "What's up, baby girl" to Jorge Masvidal?
I mean.
I don't know.
Maybe
not
he got
me.
confused because, like, Jorge has long hair. Maybe he just, like, saw him from behind.
Right, yeah. The beard didn't give it away.
Yeah, he's like, hey, baby, what's up? I don't know. Who knows?
Hey,
maybe, I mean, I've never really seen Jorge's butt from behind, but who knows?
Let me tell you, if Kevin Holland says, "What's up, baby girl" to me, I'm just going to smile and bat my eyes at him and go, "Thank you, Kevin."
You're like, hey, babe.
Thank you. Whatever you say, sir.
You're not going to start a fight.
No, that'd be the most flattering thing anybody said to me in the last 10, 15 years, I think.
What do you mean? I told you you looked amazing in that hat yesterday.
Yeah, but I know you're doing it for the show's purpose.
Stop it.
It's a real compliment.
I don't lie.
Thank you. Now I'm feeling better about myself. All right. Let's talk about our first fight of the night. Raul Rosas Jr. making his main card debut tonight. Just his second UFC fight, which is incredibly impressive. Signed off the Contender Series at 17 years old. He's now 18. I just think of the weight of the world that must be on his shoulders. He's playing it off quite well. But, you know, there are fighters that have had 20-plus fights in the UFC that never make it to a main card pay-per-view. He does it in just his second.
Do you think he's playing it off, or do you think that he actually is settled in here?
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know, I think that he's very comfortable in his skin. You have to be fighting at this level, but I think that if he thinks he's immune to the octagon pressure of walking into this arena tonight with, you know, 20,000 people,
for sure,
he's lying to himself. He doesn't think he's going to feel those butterflies.
Tonight is going to be, you know, not the test, but I say tonight is going to be, you know, that, like, kind of like shock factor of, like,
right.
Okay, shit, I'm here. You know, like, that's how I felt when I walked into O2. I was like, damn,
right,
like, this is fucking lit, bro.
And, like, that's the thing too. Like, he came on the Contender Series. Like, it is one thing to be in the Apex. It's another thing, and he's fought in T-Mobile too, but it's another thing to be in a city, you know, far away from where you live.
And this is, and like we said, this is a mega card.
Yeah.
There's like I heard the A-list is, like, the A-list seating is sold out. Like, they were turning down, like, NFL quarterbacks, you know? So I'm saying this is I'm going
to give you a real scoop here, Hannah, and I hope I don't get in trouble here. I'm not saying anything. I heard the Secret Service was around tonight.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
Did you hear that from me?
No,
Okay.
maybe that's the best lie ever. I'm saying, Hannah, you know what I heard? Not from you, but really from you.
I heard it too.
No, I did hear it. Yeah. So.
Actually, yeah, it was hard for me to even get into the arena tonight because there was like this place is on lockdown.
Right.
So this
I don't know what that means. It just means that the A-list is here, right?
might be a T to the R to the U, the M, the P.
I don't know that song.
You know?
No.
Can you spell it? That's what I heard.
Okay. All right.
Who knows? I could be totally falsifying information.
I'm only a little bit better at spelling than I am in math, for the record. So, my math, try not to fail me. We are 24 minutes away from the top of the hour, which is the main card pay-per-view. So, before we get to everything, let's go back to our main event, and we got to get a pick. Hannah Goldy, your thoughts? It is the Brazilian champion, Alex Pereira, defending against Israel Adesanya. Who's your pick?
I mean, I've said this for the past 24 hours. I'm going with Alex tonight. I really think that whether it stays on the feet or whether he's able to showcase his wrestling and his grappling, I think that he's going to be able to get it done tonight. And I really hope that he can finally gain the respect that he deserves from the fans.
I've flip-flopped so many times. I don't even know what the last pick I made was in this fight.
You're going against me. Come on, don't even front.
All right, I'm going against you.
I know you are.
Yeah, I think easy you'll get it done. He's due. He's come so close so many times. Fourth time's a charm. They say third time's a charm. Third time looked like it's going to be the charm. Fourth time going to be the charm for Israel Adesanya tonight. Co-main event. I've already sort of staked my claim. I think Jorge Masvidal gets it done in front of a fan-friendly crowd. He is my pick. But your pick is the one that matters here.
Is it?
It is.
I mean, I'm going to go Gilbert Burns round 2 or 3. Take down, hold down, ground and pound.
Is it going to be a tough night for the hometown hero in Masvidal? Is he going to walk out with his head low, or is he going to have a valiant effort before he gets stopped?
I mean, I think that it could be an entertaining first round, but I think that Gilbert is going to be able to impose his will, you know, in the middle rounds.
Okay, all right. So fair enough.
Round.
We're opposite again.
Yeah,
all right.
Always.
So third fight, Adrian Yanez. He's got the very tough Rob Font. I'm going Yanez.
I know, and I have to go Yanez too.
See, now you're tailing my bets.
No,
you know?
I mean, You knew that I was going to pick him.
No, I didn't.
You just did that to spite me.
I did, actually, yeah. That's my show prep. I knew exactly where you're going. Sounds like I'll say it first.
But I do feel like that has Fight of the Night written all over it, and I do not think that we are going to be disappointed in that.
No, I definitely agree. We'll see what happens. Another Fight of the Night potential. Just when Kevin Holland takes the octagon, it's always the possibility of chaos and carnage. I'm going Kevin Holland.
I'm going Kevin Holland as well. What are you going? Are you?
I just said Kevin Holland.
Yeah, but decision.
I think you get a stoppage, believe it or not.
You do?
I do, yeah.
TKO, submission.
We'll go TKO in the third round.
I can fuck with it.
You just swore. Wow.
But that was
okay. It was okay.
But I graduated to the F word.
Yeah, I know. That's got to be the glass ceiling. No other words than that.
Like, it's the end of the show, and like, you know.
Is it the end of the show?
Well, I mean, it's like the end of
it's true.
Whatever.
Yeah, we did it. We're almost home free. We almost haven't got Hannah fired after one event.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no. Final fight of the night. Raul Rosas taking on Christian Rodriguez.
I'm gonna pick first.
Okay, fine.
I'm gonna pick Rosas.
Why are you looking at my notes again?
I didn't look at your notes.
That's not true.
I don't have to look at your notes. I can come up with my own, you know, stuff, whatever. But yes, I am picking him. I just think he's so exciting, and I just admire so much how young he is, how much he's taken on, and like I really just want to see him really capitalize on this opportunity here in Miami tonight. Yeah,
we'll see what happens. It's your pay-per-view kickoff fight. Raul Rosas Jr. It's hard for me to say the R's. Raul Rosas.
That's why I just say the first name.
Yeah, Raul. That's always kind of hard for me to say too. I don't know. Name that's not hard for me to say is TJ DeSantis. That's my name. She's Hannah Goldy. Thanks for hanging out this week. Miami's like a fun city, and you were the perfect co-host for this excursion here to Southern Florida.
I had so much fun. I'm so glad that we're now the two best friends that anyone could have.
I mean,
agree with me.
I'm not gonna
just admit it.
Yes, it's fine. Best friends.
Did it
forever. Until next time.
Until next time.
Good job. She's Hannah and TJ. It's extra rounds. We'll see you next time right here on UFC Fight Pass.